What's up with y'all today? I got a new video for y'all. This is like an important story of mine that I actually wasn't even going to talk about this, but I just wanted to give y'all more of an insight of, stuff that I got going on, stuff that I was trying to do. Before I even wanted to do YouTube, my main passion was writing stories, specifically manga. Like, as I was like growing up, I always just like loved anime, loved manga and stuff. And I remember in middle school, I used to play around with the idea and be like, yo, I'm gonna be a manga artist one day, I'm gonna write stories and stuff like that. But it was kind of like I would just be talking about it, but just I didn't really do anything to really make that a thing. It was just something I just talked about. But as I got older and I started like, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. At first, I used to say I wanted to be a photographer. I said I wanted to be an astronaut. I said I wanted to be a rapper. Everybody wants to make music nowadays. Like, we all just like trying to figure out like what we can get into until like something finally sticks. When I was 17, I really was on that type of time and like, yo, what am I gonna do? Because I had just left school and got out of like, I literally left school early, like got out of the public school I was in and started doing classes online. And I really had a lot of free time to myself. So I'm like, man, what am I going to do as a career? Like, I'm about to be 18, 19, I'm getting older. I remember I was watching this music video. It was The Weeknd and he dropped some song. I'm trying to remember the name of the exact song, but it was like a robbery was going on. And it just gave me the idea of this story. The story that I had made from just watching that video, it just gave me the creative vision. It was called The Cozarts. I got that name from Chief Keef, by the way. I got that last name because I messed with that last name. I thought it was hard. In the music video, The Weeknd was, like I said, robbing a bank with some other people. And he seen this girl who I guess he thought looked good and took her while he was taking all the money out of the bank. Like, I guess he was using her as a hostage, but was also, I think he, thought she was attractive or whatever. And he took her and they drove off while the cops was following behind them. And, they was having a shootout and all that. And that's where the idea sparked from. That's where I got the plot of my story from. But to give you like a full synopsis of the story, it's about a wealthy family who lives in a place called Lilac City. And nobody knows how they became so wealthy. Like, they own a bunch of things in the town. They have a really big house. And the family just kind of came out of nowhere compared to the other people who've been living there for years. They just kind of popped up out of nowhere. And I kind of labeled it as like, I would tell people like, oh, this is like kind of like the opposite Bruce Wayne. How Bruce Wayne was really rich and he acted snobby and like he didn't care about people, but was actually Batman. But with this family, they're rich, nice to everybody. Everybody like kind of welcomed them into the community, even though they was kind of like weirded out at the fact of like where they came from. But they accepted them and they're kind of like a sheep. They're like sheep in, what's the word? They're wolves. They're wolves in sheep clothing. They're actually villains. There's thieves in Lilac City that be robbing different places and the community be in uproar like, yo, what, like, who are these people? And they be causing a bunch of like mayhem in the city. And it's really the Cozarts behind everything, but they don't know that. They just think that they're a regular family, but they really be the ones who be doing the dirt in the town, but nobody knows. A father, 5 brothers, 1 sister, a stepmom. It's focused on the brothers, specifically the youngest brother. X is the main character. He's 15, and it starts off with him going on a mission to take this expensive painting along with a couple of his other brothers. But he does something crazy because he sees a girl, like I said in the music video, he sees a girl who he likes. He doesn't usually deal with females like that because they're usually just doing a bunch of crime. And he's like only 15 years old. So his mind, he's not like a regular kid who goes to school and has regular relationships. He's kind of just all messed up. And he ends up taking the girl who's in the art. He ends up taking the girl who's at the art museum with her school. Come to find out, the girl's father is the head cop of Lilac City. And he, going crazy. He's trying to find out who the thieves are, who their identities are. I call them the masked men in the beginning of the story. That's what they're called by the folks of Lilac. He's trying to find out who these people are, who just took my daughter. And you know how it's like a, crime, law and order type of situation. You see the cops' point of view, you see the family's point of view. You got X, you got the female main character, Ramona. I might end up changing her name. I'm still not sure about that name, but I liked it at the time. And yeah, that's pretty much the plot of the story. Now, I had created this story in 2017. At the time, Shonen Jump was hosting these contests. Specifically, this one was the Tezuka Awards. This is the first time I had heard about it, and I'm like, yo, I gotta get on this. But a big problem was I did not know how to draw. I still don't know how to draw. I'm trying to learn now, but I don't know how to draw like at all. I suck at drawing. I wrote this whole story, but I need to get it in manga format. Like I need somebody to draw this. And I pretty much had hired somebody to draw the first chapter for me, which it was difficult because they be like, they want their bread. Like you gotta pay some money to get people to draw their story, like draw whatever story you're trying to do. They be wanting like a lot of bread, which salute to them because they be getting their money. But for a 17-year-old, it's like, it sucks for me because I don't got money like that. I'm just worrying about just living. Me trying to actually do something like this is like is major, is big. But I don't got no money like that. But I had to pretty much find somebody. I found a person who lives in Mexico who likes to draw, and the USD currency is a lot in there, in Mexico. So I was able to get it for a fairly low price. It still was a lot for me at that time because I was only 17. I forgot how much it was, but it was like, it was a decent amount that I could afford. I had got her to draw the story. I gave her the outline of the first chapter, told her the characters, how I wanted them to look, how they, the dialogue and stuff like that. And I had gotten the first chapter done before the deadline had started. I submitted it in, got it in on time. I was happy. I felt like, yo, I just like accomplished something. And I think this is going to work. Like I'm having high hopes. Like I'm thinking like, yo, I think this is a valid story. I still think it's a valid story. I think it's like an amazing story. And I'm like, yo, this could go somewhere. I'm from America. I know that it's not really that big in America as it is. I mean, it's big in America. Like people watch anime. Like a lot of people watch anime. A lot of people read manga. But as far as like people becoming manga artists in America, it's very low because it's not a manga thing. I mean, it's not a United States thing. It's a Japan thing. So that I was weary of that, but I was like, yo, honestly, I just felt like it was gonna go through. Like I just had prayed, felt like it was gonna go through. The contest results came, like I said, I forgot which month it was, and unfortunately, even with all my hoping, I didn't get picked. I looked at the results. It was a first place, second place, third place winner. I was nowhere in the category, and yes, I was tight. I was depressed. I was like, bro, I really thought like this was gonna be my big break. I get, signed by Shonen Jump, and like a rapper getting signed. I thought I was about to get signed, start making chapters, be like the biggest manga artist, like coming from America, who's a young kid coming out. But it didn't go like that, and I did not get picked. And yeah, I was tight. I was mad, but I had to realize, like, man, things happen. Like, things don't always go the way that you want them to go. But just like I seen on this movie once, it was like an old Disney movie. It's like, man, the only times you truly fail is when you give up. So I'm thinking like, man, I cannot give up, bro. I have to keep trying. I gotta see this through somehow. I had looked up American manga companies to see if there was any manga companies that was located near me. You know, I live in New York, so there's a lot of different things in New York. So I wanted to see if there was some type of manga headquarters that was around that I could, you know, maybe submit into. I had found one. I forgot the name of the place, but it was some type of American manga building that was in Manhattan. And surprisingly, because this was very bold in me, I pulled up there by myself. Like I pulled up to the company, I found the suite number and everything, went to the person downstairs, like, yo, can I, you know, come up? They let me up, and you know, I knocked on the door, like, yo, he's like, yes, this is such and such. Like I said, I forgot the name. I was like, that's y'all. Hey, can I talk to you guys really quick? I showed them my story. Like I had a couple of pages printed out, and I had the plot, and I had different things about the characters and all that. And I was saying like, yo, can y'all please put me on? Like, can y'all, you know, take this story and let's like, not take it, but like, yo, let's work together. Let's make it like, make it to the top type thing. They were like a low, you know, it's an American company, so they weren't that big. I seen they had printed something from an American person who, like, I don't know where they lived at, but they had published somebody. So I'm thinking like, man, maybe they might publish me, you know, maybe I could be their next big hit, you know, let's try to see if we can make something happen. And they pretty much had said something like, yo, we don't have any money, you know, we don't have the budget to produce this story, even if we wanted to. And I'm just looking like, how y'all don't got the budget? Like, y'all are a company. Like, I can make y'all more money. You know what I'm saying? If we get this story rolling, like, this is a valid story. But the guy, I was talking to one guy in specific, he was just saying like, man, it's not gonna work, da 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 da. And he had told me some other information, but it was pretty irrelevant. But that company denied me pretty much. They denied me. Like, not like they were rude or anything, but they wasn't with the vision that I had seen. And they pretty much, you know, I had to leave, and that was that. So I had got denied for the second time, but this time didn't hurt as much like the first time, because the first time I really, you know, it was like a long shot with finding an artist, finding this contest and all that, and submitting it in. That the first time hurt the worst. The second time, that was kind of just a random thing I had found and was thinking maybe they might mess with me, but I wasn't really that mad about it. But it did hurt getting denied, because I'm like, man, this is another opportunity that never came into fruition. So I was like, dang. But again, I did not give up, you know what I'm saying? I still had in my head like, man, this is a great story. I know if people really got to see this and read this story, like they would mess with it like how I mess with it. It could be a big hit. I ended up, this was the next year, because it wasn't 2017, it was 2018 when I went to that company, try to get that done. I started searching for more places I could submit into that same year. I was finding places like Dark Horse Comics, Image Comics, Valiant Entertainment, Viz Media. Some of these places aren't even manga companies. Like Image Comics, I think Dark Horse does have some manga, but some of these places, and of course Viz Media is manga, but some of the places I submitted to wasn't even manga companies. But I thought, okay, I could kind of flip it into my favor if they just like the story. Forget about the artwork, because, you know, that was just somebody I paid. But if they just focus on, like, I'm sending them the story, like I'm a writer, I'm sending them my, like, just the story raw, they could get whatever artists or whatever they want to do with it, you know, or just get it animated or whatever they want to do, they could do that. I'm gonna just send them my story. I got this copyrighted, everything. Like, I was not playing. So I submitted it into different comic places, manga places, all types of stuff. But all those places I submitted to, Dark Horse, Image, so Viz Media, all these places I submitted into, they didn't even deny it, but I got ignored, which pretty much is me getting denied. Nobody contacted me back. Nobody wanted to rock with my story. I don't know why, but none of these places, and I'm these are just names that I'm thinking of off the top of my head. It was a lot of places I submitted into over that was 2018, 2019, all the way. Like, I've been submitting in mad places. Nobody was jacking it. I'm like, damn, bro, what am I gonna do? Like, what is it gonna take? Is my story not valid? Like, I'm self-doubting myself. Like, I'm confident, but like when you get denied, like, and things are not working after a certain amount of years and months and time going by, you kind of, it's a natural thing to think like, yo, maybe something is wrong with what I got going on. Maybe this is not something I'm supposed to do. But even though I be like, when things happen, I be getting sad like everybody else, I had to pick myself back up and be like, yo, bro, you can't give up on something that you want to do. No matter how many times you get kicked down, you got to keep going. I even tried like another attempt. I tried to, instead of submitting it into companies, I tried to be on some type of time like, yo, let me go and find an artist and we can just work together, make a bunch of chapters and post it online and stuff like that, and maybe, gain some attraction. But nobody replied back, or I was getting left on scene, or some people saying sorry, but I'm busy with this. Or I think I had gotten like one or two people over the years who said that they was gonna do it, but then as we started working, they just kind of gave up because they just thought like, oh, I don't know if I could do this. This is like too much of a hard task. Or, they weren't really as committed as I was. Cause like, I'm dead serious. Like, just like with a lot of other stuff I'm trying to do, I be dead serious about it. They weren't really as serious as me. So it just ended up not going anywhere. None of them was jacking me, you know what I'm saying? So I had to just be on my writer only type of timing because I couldn't get an artist. So I'm like, all right, y'all don't want to work? Cool. I'm going to just keep doing me and keep trying to push this story. As of recently, like, I'm not gonna lie, like 2021, 2022, I kind of took a dive, so to speak. Like, I kind of took a break from trying to do this story and writing and stuff like that in general. Just because, like, it wasn't me giving up, but it was more so like, okay, let me try to, take a break from this and maybe find some other things that could, I could be passionate about also and get some money from, and, just, build myself up type of thing, which I have found doing YouTube now, doing other things as far as with jobs and stuff. I found other things that I also like to do, not just writing. But I kind of actually just made this video to kind of just put this back in the air, because I'm definitely about to get back on this. I'm going to get back into this again. You feel me? Like, I'm going to get back into this. I'm going to try some more, because you should never give up on your dreams, bro. Never. So I really made this video just to, give y'all more of an insight of what I like, what I be having, going on and stuff. And I hope that I could get this story out there. Maybe this video could even help with, building some exposure to it. And yeah, I hope you guys, found this interesting. And, maybe you might be, not in this exact situation, but you trying to push your dreams, and, you might feel like at a halt, or you feel like, you felt doubtful about if it was going to happen or not. We all feel like that, but, we got to get ourselves back out there again. And I'm trying to get myself back out there to try to make this happen one day. I hope you guys like this video. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Peace out.